Hi, Steve here. I mentioned in one of my previous emails on the Watch the Gap series how to use ANZ Horse Ratings. Now, what we're looking at here on the screen is the Australian New Zealand Horse Ratings screen, and this has got all the races in Australia and New Zealand today running. Now, if we want to use this to hone down on our Watch the Gap horses, we can see here that there doesn't seem to be anything that's going to give us an indication of that gap between the favourite and the second favourite, and it doesn't show in the website ratings. This is just a snapshot. In order to get more, we have to export the data and jump in deeper. Now, to export the data, we're going to be exporting it into Excel. So I'll just click import data. Now what it's going to do is going to take all this, but it's going to add probably around about 35-40 extra columns, which has got the details that we need in order to find out the Watch the Gap potential horses. Down here now we've got it. Now a lot of our spreadsheets and that won't run on anything except Excel, but this one will, because it's got no macros or anything in it. So this one will work on Open Office or that. But if you decide later on you want to get our ANZ Analyzer, and I'll show you that in a minute, that does need to have Microsoft Excel 2007, preferably 2010 and better. So let's just go ahead now and open the Excel that's got all this, but I'll show you what I mean by it's added a lot more columns, and these are columns that we definitely need to use. Okay, so I'll just expand it a bit more, and this is all the details. So if we look at here, we've got A column obviously, and we go all the way to AZ. So that means that's about 52 columns of information, which is obviously a lot more than we've got there. We've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, 23, 20. We've got 24, so you can see we've got a lot more when we go into the Excel. Now, where we need to go in here, I'll just do a quick sort. First of all, in our Watch the Gap, we don't use, I just go into data and filter, and we don't use harness, so we'll just filter harness out. So we'll just bring up the horses only, and then if we scroll across to this column here, AS, this is our favourite strength. Now if a horse has got a favourite strength, and this is medium, and you can see there medium, fair, fair, medium, that means there is a reasonable gap between the favourite and the second favourite. Now if it's fair, it's a 1.5 gap between the first and second favourite or more. If it's medium, it's 2, and if it's strong, it's 3 points. Now this is early on. This is let me look, this is just before lunchtime in Australia, so the races, the first races not too far away. So as you go through the day, you will end up getting some with results and some without. But if we go over to AW column here, this one here, this is giving us now a value. See, if it's rated in the favourite strength with fair, medium or strong, it'll end up with a figure over here, and this figure here is the current gap between the first and second favourite. All the ones with 0 here means that they are not the favourite, so there's no rating for them. And also in some races where the favourite and the second favourite are under a dollar gap, then they'll have a 0 as well. So what we can do is we can just go to the favourite here, and we can say, we can look at the numbers, and we want it to be, say, greater than 2. Now why not greater than 3? Because we want to monitor horses. If we put greater than 3, that is right at the moment, and some of these races are still 6 or 7 hours away, and a lot can change obviously. So if we put greater than or equal to 2 and click OK, what this gives us now is it gives us a range of horses. We can see here that their prices are 2.4, 2.48, 2.4, etc. This one here is at 5.48. So we've already now got a group of horses. This may not be all of them, but what it does, it just gives us a quick ready reckoner. And if we have a look at country, where are we? Country here, we can see we've got one New Zealand race. So if we didn't want to do New Zealand races, we would just filter out New Zealand, and now we've only got the Australian races. Okay, and we could sort it by time. At the moment it's sorted by track, Rosehill, Doomben, but we could just say we could just filter from A to Z, and you can see now it's running from the first races right through to the last race tonight at Launceston. Okay, so that's how we could get our horses, and these are the horses now that are in line to be horses that will meet the watch the gap rule. And so you would just monitor these races. Obviously there's other races that where horses will start being backed in later, but what watch the gap, what ANZ gives you is just a bit of semblance of what horses may qualify. And as I said, there are others that will later on in the day qualify but aren't showing up here yet, because the odds range we're using here, the gap, is obviously used a lot on the Betfair odds makings as they put the odds in, and then of course once the race gets closer to start, then we get the public's point of view of the favourite, and that starts taking shape, and the odds gap between the first and second will change. But that's how we use ANZ to get the potential selections for the day. If you want to find out more about ANZ ratings and the ANZ analyzer, there's a link below this video and you can have a look. We'll just show you quickly how ANZ analyzer works. Basically what we'll do is I'll go back into here and I'll do yesterday's. So if we go into yesterday's, was the 15th, so we can click on the 15th. Okay, so we've got all the meetings here now, and what we do, this has got all the results and that, which is slowly filtering through, and the prices. These prices are all at 20 seconds before the jump. So we click on export data. Now this is yesterday's racing, so we've got the results and everything, and I'll just show you how we can monitor the watch the gap horses as far as the results go. So we bring up yesterday's, this is yesterday's results, and if I just scroll up a bit, go to data, filter, and then what I do is I filter I get all the horses that didn't race. So I use, this is all explained in the manual if you decide to go ahead. Okay, so we've got that, and I just want to look at, there was, so we just delete these, delete, okay, and then we push the clear button, and just to check, okay, that all the horses that are left were horses that ran, so I just save this. Okay, just put an F so I know that it's the final. So now that we've saved yesterday's results, I go open up Analyzer. Let me open up the Analyzer, and now we're just going to import yesterday's results into our ANZ Analyzer. And to main, import new data, back to where we had it on the downloads, this one here, open, and we'll come up with a little pop-up box, and it's telling us it's adding 884 new records. These are all the horses that race both harness and gallops. So we click on yes. Now this my analyzer here has meetings right back from the 1st of July, so it does take a little while to upload some stuff. If you decide to get the ANZ analyzer, I will make sure it includes all this data up until the day before, so you'll get from the 7th of July all the way up to, as I do this video, 16th of November. Okay, so now we've entered the data, it's already in here. If I scroll down the bottom here, I'll just bring up my watch the gap is number 11, and you get all these strategies included with your analyzer. So let's have a look and we'll see what happened. I don't know what happened yesterday because I was out. So watch the gap. Okay, if we look at yesterday, was the 15th. We made $1.20 profit, and if I scroll down here, see what horses were running. So on the 15th we had 4 horses running, these ones here, Narromine, which is a small country meeting, and Kyneton, and we had 2 winners out of our 4. So 1 ran a place, 1 lost, and 2 won. So that's how quick you can find the results, get the results, and this is obviously the day after, which doesn't help. But I have other, if we look at the chart here, this is the chart. Since we've been following Watch the Gap, it's made 52 points profit. It's had 300 selections for 145 winners. The strike rate at the moment is down a little bit on what it started at. It's 48%. But I guess the main thing is we're making the profits there. You can see the last 4 days have been winning. We had a couple of big losing days here. This was a Sunday and a Saturday. But generally you can see the losing days are very far and few between. So thanks for watching this this ANZ overview on how you can potentially find your Watch the Gap horses, and also how you can keep results and obviously work out strategies. If we go to the, if we go to 12, that's Watch the Gap, but they must have had 1 win, so this is Watch the Gap excluding maidens, and we can see what that's doing. That's got a 45% strike rate, 11% return on investment. But if we go to number 13, which is only maiden races, if you only wanted to bet the maiden races, it's doing a lot better than that. So if we have a look, and of course maiden races essentially are the first races of the day, so obviously the time needed to monitor them is a lot less. You can see a 56% strike rate, 29 points profit, 31% return on investment. Okay, so thanks for watching this video. I hope that it gives you a help for using Watch the Gap, but also you may want to look at using the ANZ analyzer and ANZ ratings for something completely different. If I just quickly go into summary, if we look at the summary, we can see here, out of all the 18 strategies that come with the ANZ analyzer, you can see only 2 are losing, and we're averaging a 45% strike rate, and you get the rules for all of these strategies if you get the analyzer add-on from ANZ Horse Racing. So you need ANZ Horse Racing in order to use the analyzer, but the analyzer is an add-on purchase if you decide to go that way. And you can see across here, the blue is the profit, and the growth you can see there is the orange line. These are the growths on each of the strategies, and the winners are the orange bars, and the profit are the little blue bars. Okay, so thanks for watching this video. I hope you enjoyed it. If you want to see more on ANZ, it's in the link below. This is Steve signing off. Hope you have a great day. Cheers.